Six Flags Over Texas just announced the new for 2026 Tormenta Rampaging Run, the world's first ever GIGA dive roller coaster. We've seen large dive coasters before, but never one on this scale, so I feel like I have to cover it. What I want to do in this video is go over the layout one element at a time and cover what I think the ride experience will feel like on all of them, as well as talk about some of the criticisms of this ride. Yes, it has only been announced for 4 days, and there's already so much hate towards this ride, it's honestly insane. So, without further ado, let's get started on the analysis of the world's first GIGA dive coaster, Tormenta Rampaging Run. You start your ride experience by boarding the 24-passenger trains with 8 people per row in typical B&M dive fashion. This train does have vest restraints, but I don't think it will hurt the ride experience for reasons we will get into shortly. After you dispatch, you take a 180-degree left turn out of the station before starting your climb up the insane 309-foot-tall lift hill. I wonder if it will go as quick as something like Orion, because that roller coaster pulls you to the top so quickly you wonder if it's even 300 feet tall. Wait a minute. All jokes aside, this thing is huge. When you get to the top of the lift hill, you take a 90-degree turn to the left before attaching onto the chain that will hold you over the 285-foot-tall first drop. This obviously is the selling point for these dive coasters, and usually they aren't that good, but this one looks to be one of the most insane elements on any dive coaster. Dangling 300 feet off the ground while knowing that the vest is the only thing keeping you from falling must be an insane experience. That feeling won't last long though, as you are thrown over the 95-degree, 285-foot drop, and words cannot describe how excited I am for this drop. It looks to have some of the most sustained floater airtime of any first drop in the world, and after that, you go into what looks like a super intense pullout. It seems that it will give you a lot of positive G's for a decently long amount of time. Something I don't see people talking about enough though is that it goes under the cutback inversion, which looks like a really cool visual element. I don't think it's in the realm of head choppers, but it still looks pretty awesome. Next, you head up the world's tallest Illman. Of course it's an Illman, at 218 feet tall. It doesn't look like it will give that much hang time, but it still looks pretty good, and it will be wild being upside down 218 feet in the air like that. Then you plummet back down to the ground before going up into another world record, the world's tallest vertical loop at 179 feet tall. This inversion looks awesome though, and in my opinion it looks like it's the best inversion on the ride. I think it will be super forceful because of how quickly it travels through it on the animation. Plus it will be super tall. This single element is taller than New Texas Giant, another roller coaster in the park, which just goes to show how massive this thing is. You level out and rise up into the second element before turning right into the incredibly long mid-course brake run. I'd estimate it to be 250 feet long, which is kind of crazy for just a mid-course brake run, especially on a dive coaster with short trains like this one. Once you slow down though, you hit a second dive which looks to be slightly shorter than the B&M mini dives such as Iron Menace or Dr. Diabolical's Cliffhanger, and then you hit the fourth inversion, another Immelman. Yes, there are 3 Immelmans on this ride, which is kind of insane if you think about it. This then takes you into the cutback I mentioned earlier, right over the bottom of the first drop, which does look to be a true inversion thankfully, meaning it is the first for any dive coaster. Then you rise up into a turn before hitting the final brake run, ending your record-breaking ride on Tormenta Rampaging Run. Oh yeah, did I mention that this breaks 6 records? Here they are if you're wondering. Overall, it looks like an insane ride, and I don't think people are giving it enough credit. Sure, it's short, but I think everything else makes up for it. Now to address some of the controversies with this ride. The first being that it doesn't count as a GIGA since it doesn't have a 300-foot drop, but in my opinion, it is. The GIGA coaster was just a marketing term invented by Cedar Fair to market the first roller coaster to go over 300 feet tall, Millennium Force, and the definition is any roller coaster with a height or drop over 300 feet tall. Also, if you don't consider this a GIGA, you also can't consider Magnum XL 200 as a hybrid coaster, since it only has a 197-foot drop. The next one is the name. Many people are saying that it doesn't need the Rampaging Run at the end of it, which I kind of agree with. I do think that it doesn't need the extra subtext at the end, but I also think that Tormenta isn't a great name, especially for the theme that they are going for here. I just think that it's too short, but I can't come up with a better name for it, so I really shouldn't criticize it too much. The next one I want to talk about is the length. It is the longest dive coaster with over 4,000 feet of track, but for a GIGA coaster, that's really short. I'm 99% sure that is the shortest GIGA coaster by length, unless we include Red Force, of course. This is kind of disappointing, but with the cost of steel right now, I'm shocked that they decided to go with a GIGA in the first place. And finally, I have to address the elephant in the room, the rattle. It seems that since 2022, new B&M coasters have gotten rougher and rougher to the point that some of their coasters from the 90s are smoother than the ones that opened this year, which is not a problem you want to have at all. What it seems the worst offender of this rattle, as enthusiasts call it, are dive coasters. The fastest dive coaster that has opened since the rattle issue started was Wrath of Rakshasa at Six Flags Great America, which goes 67 miles per hour, and Tormenta goes 20 miles per hour faster than that. Wrath of Rakshasa is known to have one of the worst rattles of any new B&M coaster, so 20 miles per hour faster might cause a very uncomfortable rattle. I really hope that Six Flags paid extra to maybe have the tracker trains made with higher quality to try to mitigate the rattle, but I'm not super confident that they would do this. I think that this coaster looks great, and in my opinion it looks like the best dive coaster ever. Controversial? Maybe, I don't know. I really hope that the rattle is fixed though, especially on a roller coaster of this scale. Thank you for watching this video, and I would love to hear your thoughts on Tormenta Rampaging Run in the comment section. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time here on Valley Coasters. Have a great day.